We begin today with breaking news out of Pennsylvania and the killing of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The suspect, Luigi Mangione, seen there in that orange jumpsuit, just waived extradition to New York. Police taking him there now after back-to-back hearings. Now, sources familiar with the matter also told CBS News the Mangione might face a federal charge in connection to the shooting. They added he could appear in a Manhattan courtroom as early as later on today. Let's go now to CBS News correspondent Nicole Valdes outside the courthouse there in Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania. Welcome, Nicole. Thank you for being with us. Can you go over what happened inside the courtroom this morning, and what was Luigi Mangione's demeanor during all of this?
Yeah, Liz, a very interesting hour or so inside that courtroom. Luigi Mangione was escorted in, hands and feet shackled, and surrounding him were more than 15 New York City police officers ready to escort and transport him back to that state as soon as that extradition was waived, which was something that did happen, but it took some time to get there. We heard a lot of conversation back and forth between prosecutors and their defense for that preliminary hearing on those Pennsylvania charges, which we know are really much different than what we're seeing in New York. Then both sides went back into the judge's chambers and had what looked like a very long discussion. They were gone for more than a half hour, came back out. That's when Luigi's attorney, Thomas Dickey, had a very animated conversation with his client and discussed what appeared to be the terms of that waiver of extradition. Now, Luigi, throughout the entire hearing, both hearings, I should say, was much calmer today than really what he was last week. He seemed to be much more comfortable there, despite, of course, being shackled. Really didn't pay a lot of attention to the gallery around him, despite the fact that there was a packed room. Not only the gallery, but even the jury pool filled with not only media, but also spectators, people who tell me they traveled from as far as Ohio to be here and see Mangione in person. So really quite the scene out here. And outside the courthouse, we've got lots of people here with signs, some saying a lot of different things. But one of them that stood out to me was "The people hear you," Liz.
Yeah, it's amazing the support that Mangione has received on social media, the money that's come in to support him. So what comes next for him today?
Well, we know he's on his way to New York right now. We actually just saw 6 SUVs with lights and sirens leaving the courthouse just moments after he was escorted out of that room. It looks as if he does have the opportunity to face a judge in New York later today, likely as early as this afternoon. Whether that will be for the expected federal charges, that remains to be seen. We know that is something that a lot of officials on that level are hoping to put forward as soon as possible. But I will say we got clarity here. Those charges in Pennsylvania, they still stand. Those have not been dropped. But of course, it's unlikely that we'll see any trial for those charges play out anytime soon. It looks like, of course, really the murder charges in New York will be prioritized. Not only that first-degree murder charge, but others associated and attached to that word, terrorism.
That's right. And he's also facing a possible new federal charge. Can you walk us through what that means?
Well, it looks like they want to take this to a higher level than just state charges, right? It looks as if the FBI is interested in doing that. And there's a lot of reasons why that could be the case. We haven't really gotten any confirmation just yet. But what we did hear was from Mangione's attorney, who's representing him on those murder charges in New York, who gave us quite a lengthy statement saying that she feels like this is definitely overreaching, or rather pretty additional to what we have already seen in terms of the charges against Mangione here. Again, the accused shooter of that CEO, Brian Thompson. So a lot still to be learned, though, about what the potential of those federal charges are.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens later on this afternoon or maybe even tomorrow. All right, CBS News correspondent Nicole Valdes, thank you so much, Nicole.